Hey everybody, this is Jeff Veale, the business guru, coming to you from, yes, downtown Manila with another star on Spotlight. And we've got an awesome lady today who's got a lot to teach us. So be ready for this one, guys. It's awesome. Think about it, guys. Why don't you come on Stars on Spotlight and tell the world your story? Every person's got a story to tell. You're not unique. We've all got a story, but they're all different, which is pretty exciting. Think about it. If you went on TV, a TV commercial would cost you close to $30,000 or more, and people might go and make a cup of coffee while the commercial was on. Or 10 radio spots in your city might set you back anything from $5,000 to $10,000. You can come on Stars on Spotlight and we'll put you across Reddit, Quora, Snapchat, what else we got? Facebook, etc., including YouTube with all your social media links. We'll put you across the world and make you more famous than what you are, totally free, just like our next guest. And let me introduce her. Um, our next guest is a lovely lady called Kelly Harris. And Kelly is from the United States, and she's a CEO of Kelly Harris Creative. And she's been in the marketing industry for a long time now, 5+ years. And her business, Kelly Harris Creative, specializes in helping women coaches achieve clear marketing direction. And that's important, guys. Get that clarity happening. It's all about focus. The more you focus, the bit more successful you'll be. And actionable steps to drive engagement and growth through email marketing and other channels using her signature heart framework. Some of her key achievements or projects, just in some recent ones, for example, 88% sales growth in revenue, almost doubled. 2,500 email contacts, a 690% increase in a short time in an email list, right? 136% Facebook group growth in a membership. That's where the money is, guys, in Facebook groups, if you know what to do, right? If you don't know what to do, reach out and ask Kelly. She'll help you. 29% conversion rate for ad funnels, outperformed organic ones nearly threefold. Personal motto, plant seeds of hope to make the world a better place. I say if it's meant to be, it's up to me, guys. No one's coming to save you, including me or Kelly. You've got to save yourself, but we can guide you in the right direction and make the journey a lot quicker. Interesting fact about herself. We're going to find that out later. But without further ado, let's have a chat this morning morning my time, night time for Kelly. Good evening, Kelly. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you so much for having me.
No, you're most welcome. We love to have interesting guests like you. That's how we learn things. Right. Let's get the show on the way. Tell us about your journey and what inspired you to pursue this wonderful lifetime journey, current career path of being a marketing person.
So I actually, if we rewound the clock 5 years, I was actually a kindergarten teacher.
Wow.
And I loved what I did, but I always told people I love the kids and I love teaching them and I love that spark when they get it, but I kind of am over the parents, the politics, and the paperwork.
Don't blame
And
you.
and then when the pandemic hit, I went from working about 65 hours to about 85 hours. And my husband came to me in the fall of 2020 and said, "This has changed the landscape of education. We always said that we would get out at year 10 and figure out what the next steps were. And this is year 8, and it should count for 3 years. So, like, hard stop in May." And so I actually started my online journey with, like, I have no idea where we're going, but okay. And I started researching it, and I actually ended up buying a program where I could learn to be a virtual assistant because I thought, well, we do data analysis, we do emails, we do all of these things. And so that's kind of where I started. And then it was a couple months after that that I actually went to a leadership camping trip with my husband. And one of the things that we had to do was we had to write SMART goals because we had to have 5 things we were going to do in the next 18 months. And they had to be SMART goals so that they were specific, measurable, attainable, relative, and timely. And as a teacher, I had done that a ton of times. My husband, on the other hand, is not a writer. And so he had a little bit of a meltdown. And he was like, well, I could do this, or I could do that, or I could do, I don't, why did I let you talk me into this leadership thing? And about 5 minutes after his rant, I literally was like, here's your list. Here's your 5 things, and I'll write the goals for you. And he was like, these are really great goals. Where'd they come from? I said, you, when you were having your little
Rant.
meltdown, these are your ideas. So I wrote them down. And I realized at that time that, like, I'd always been a writer. And I
Yes.
also tell people all the time, I learned marketing in an elementary school classroom because marketing ultimately comes down to how we choose to interact with people, what we wear, what we say, our words. That's marketing. And you market different than to kids than you do to adults, than you do to the administration. And so I learned it in a very unlikely place, but I realized that I loved marketing and I loved meeting people and talking with people. And I started doing writing. I started with blogs and it took a little while, but that eventually became email marketing because I love that we're building a relationship, even though it feels one-sided, it's really not. And
Yes.
if you can build that connection, then you can get people to say yes. And then there's a whole psychology behind that and a whole bunch of stuff like that. But I love that stuff. That's my nerddom, as my husband likes to call it. He's like, I don't understand what you do. I feel like you're there's a movie called History of the World Part One. He's like, I think you might be a master BSer, but I don't understand. It was, and I basically said, it's okay. It's fine. That's what I do. But that's how I ended up here. And I
Fair
love
enough.
it. And I
What's
loved
been
meeting people.
what's been the most challenging aspect of your work, and how have you overcome that?
I think the most challenging for me was, or is, I guess, kind of, I'm actually a mom of four, and I
Mm.
have a lot of people will come to me and say, like, how are you doing this? You have a 14-year-old, a neurospicy 11-year-old, a 5-year-old diva, and a 1-year-old. Like, how are you doing this? And I always say, like, I don't know. It's just part of life.
Full of
But
life, yeah.
I think the challenging part there is like that balance of going, this is my work time. I've got to get this work done. Or today, maybe I have to put a little bit more into work and a little less into family. Or maybe right now we need to do a little bit more family and a little bit less work, a little bit more on
Awesome.
autopilot. And I think figuring out how to overcome that really comes down to like, what's the next right step? What needs to happen right now to get me where I'm going on this
Yeah,
road?
test and measure, right? Test and measure. And
100%.
and don't test and measure for a week, guys. I got a policy. I test and measure anything for 1 month. I give it one full month. Then if it
A month
works,
is,
yeah, if it works, that's bloody awesome. I keep it. If it doesn't work, I throw that one out and put a new one in. Yeah, and away
and
we
the
go.
thing is, 30 days will give you some data because in the marketing world, it's a 90-day run. So
Yeah,
30 days, you have an idea.
yeah, absolutely. You know where you are. You know where you are. I learned that from Stu Leonard, one of the retailers in America. Funny enough, I went to one of his seminars. Tell us an important moment in your career that pretty much changed the direction. I guess it was COVID in your case.
Yeah, it really was because I knew that we had a hard stop at year 10.
Yeah,
But COVID really, I mean, like back
fast
then,
forward. Yeah.
yeah, well, the thing of it with us, I mean, I had a team of 5 other women and we pivoted in a heartbeat. Like even when we always called it the spring break that never ended because here in the United States, we were the spring break. And then Friday of spring break came and they were like, yeah, you don't have school for the rest of the year. So like your teachers will be contacting you and all these things will be happening. And it was like, we're doing what? Okay.
Yeah, I get it. Tell me, in your opinion, what are the key qualities and skills that have contributed to your success? You've obviously nailed it. What are some of the skills?
I think one of the skills is really figuring out what success means to you
Hmm.
because we have this nasty little habit where we tend to move the goalpost where we're like, oh, I'll make $100,000. And then you get there and you're like, oh, everybody around me is making 200,000. Like maybe I need to be there. And we forget that this isn't a race. We're not really
No, that's
competing with
right.
these people. We're competing with ourselves. It's kind of like golf. Like we're just trying to get our better score than we got
That's right.
previously.
I tell
Um,
people, be Mr. Big Enough. In my case,
right.
I chased money all my life and, until I lost 20 million with pandemic. That's another story. However, after that, it gave me a fantastic reset. I said, hey, I don't need to chase the money anymore. I've got enough coming in. I got my brain. So what I'm going to do this time around, I'm going to be Mr. Big Enough. I'm going to
Right.
choose who I work for and when I work. And guys, I'm working 50 and 60 hours a week now still because I love it. I'm passionate about it. Passionate about, as is Kelly, helping people. It gives you a buzz, doesn't it, Kelly?
Yeah.
When you get that person and they wake up and they see the light. You know?
It's the same as like it was in the classroom when you can see that spark come back
Yes.
because they're like, oh my gosh, it worked. Like I can't believe it. It's like
Yeah.
it's one of the most amazing feelings. And I think another key quality for me at least, is like it's a resilience game. Like we know that this is not a fast run. Sometimes you're going to have to run fast. Sometimes we're
Yeah,
pacing because I had a coach one time tell me your business is plateaus and mountains. Sometimes it's going to plateau for a while, and that's okay. The growth is coming to a mountain, but you're still going to have a time when you're going to plateau, and that's okay. And
yeah.
it's not necessarily always going to go up. So you've got to figure out how, if you know a down is coming, whether that is, a sickness or a surgery or something like that, how can you make the downs less? So
Balance it
like
out.
if
Yeah.
and that way because you'll bounce back faster. And
And
so the down doesn't have to completely stop everything.
yeah, I tell people, guys, when you're climbing that mountain, when you reach the top, guess what? That's only base camp. Never,
Right.
never stop learning. Never stop. You'll never reach the top, but aim for the top, guys. Aim for the moon. You'll hit quite a few stars on the way. Um,
Exactly.
Tell me, can you tell us about a recent project or achievement that you're particularly proud of? I'm sure you got a few, but tell us one or two.
I actually was I was actually recently was working with a lady who she had really great ideas, but the problems that we were struggling with were she didn't have a sales mechanism. And so one of the things that I'm really proud of with her is that we were actually able to get all of her marketing moving in the right direction and trending in the right direction because a lot of people when they try to come to work with me, they're like, "Oh, are you going to make me $100,000 in sales?" And I'm like, "I can't promise you that
No?
because this is marketing. Marketing and sales are different buckets. My job is getting attention on this.
Yes,
Your job is making that
that's
sale."
right.
And so, um, it's just one of those things that, like, I don't know, I got sidetracked. So,
No, no. Well, I'll interrupt you there. Basically, guys, Kelly and I are here to help you run your business, not run your business for you. Get that
right,
very
you have
get
to
that
make
very
those
clear,
decisions.
guys. We're here to help you run your business, give you ideas, help you implement the good ones, right? But we're not here to run your business. Otherwise, we'll move you aside and we'll take all the money,
Right.
right?
Your success is my success, but I can't be so more invested in your business than you are. Like,
Yeah,
doesn't work.
exactly right. It doesn't work unless you do. Um, Tell us, what advice would you give someone who wants to sort of follow in your footsteps? What would you tell them?
I think what I would tell them if somebody said, I want to do this, I'd say, cool. You need to realize that one, this is a journey. It's a journey. It's not necessarily a destination, even if you know what success looks like. And two, this is going to be a professional and personal development journey because you're only
Absolutely.
going to be successful as you are prepared to be. And when you hit that next level, there's going to be things that you thought were handled that you're going to have to deal with. So just be ready because it's coming and you will forever be reading a book and learning things and growing because that's part of the journey.
Yeah, and action gets traction. And what my coach, this cost me, here's something, guys, that cost me $20,000. I'm going to give it to you for free. Are you all ready? You don't know what you don't know. That's all I learned from that coach. I learned one thing, and at the time I was pissed off, but now I'm so happy and so grateful because it's my mantra. I live by it. You don't know what you don't know, and isn't that so true, guys? Tell me, looking ahead, what are your goals and aspirations for the future? You got your head screwed on pretty well. You're doing good. What's your goals and aspirations? Keep moving, of course, but what else?
I think one of my goals within the next 3 to 5 years, and actually I'm kind of already working on it, is I'm actually going to put out a course because my goal is to help as many people as possible because
Hmm.
I see what I do as that drop in a pond that resonates outward. And so if I
Yeah,
can
love
put
it.
more drops in the pond, then I can make more of an impact and help people change their lives and leave the world a better place.
Be lovely going back to kindergarten. Wouldn't it be lovely if you and I could go in and change the bloody education system and educate people about what matters? Health, wealth, relationships, all the good stuff, rather than some of the crappy stuff. I don't care when the Magna Carta was signed. I don't give a shit, right? I still know, by the way. I know how William Tell died. I know all this. If I go on what do they call it? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I'll probably win. I got all this incredible knowledge from school, guys. But all school taught me was, or tried to, sit up straight and don't smile. And I don't, and I still don't sit up straight, and I'm always smiling. So there you go, guys. I mean, it's all about self-learning, guys, and readers are leaders. Books are awesome. And then reach out to people have a chat to people like Kelly. Costs you nothing to have a 30-minute chat, a virtual cup of coffee, and you might just learn something, and she might be the ideal person to take you on that journey of self-discovery, right? And it can be fun. It's challenging, guys, but it can be a lot of fun as well, as Kelly can tell you. Um, Tell Kelly, how can our listeners and people watching our podcast today, how can they reach out and find out more about you and your wonderful service?
Yeah, absolutely. So on Facebook, it's Kelly Harris Copywriter. On Instagram, it's Kelly Harris Creative because
Okay,
we started and we didn't finish that whole thing. LinkedIn, it's Kelly Harris 208. And then you can always email me, Kelly with a Y at kellyharriscreative.com. And I am
awesome.
more than happy to say, yeah, let's have a virtual cup of coffee. And if you want, I also do calls where I will give you your next 3 action steps for free, where we just jump on a 30-minute call.
Awesome.
If
So
you're
put
that, let me know.
Like it's a roadmap for you guys. I just put up a post about roadmaps today. So there's a roadmap for you, and there's an invitation for you guys. Make sure you take it up, and you're going to find all of Kelly's details and socials under a YouTube video that's going to be up in the next 48 hours. And reach out to her. Before we wrap this up, Kelly, tell us a fun. You're a fun lady. Tell us a fun fact about yourself that most people don't know.
So my husband and I used to be street characters at a Renaissance festival, and I was the town poet. And he actually ended up over the years, he played a couple of different characters, but we actually got married at the Renaissance Festival. And we didn't get married in the chapel because it was too small and we knew everybody on the cast. We actually got married across the street at the pub. So we got
Awesome.
married at the festival at the pub. So
Yeah, so you obviously do things your way. You've been an awesome guest, Kelly. Thanks for being on the show today. And guys, if you want to be on Stars on Spotlight, just like Kelly, and tell the world your story and invite them to reach out to you, please feel free to come on the show. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, guys. We've done hundreds of these, and we've got some awesome guests from all over the world, just like you. They've all got a story to tell. So feel free to reach out to Stars on Spotlight. Thanks very much, Kelly.
anytime. Thank you.